and having ReddX read these really gives me a kick. Thanks, guys. Gives me a kick, too. Right in the nuts.
You left yourself open, Dad.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving into r/LegbeardStories. Oh, hooray. Happy Halloween to each and every one of you. I was sitting around, I was like, maybe we should just keep it up with the lighter stories today. But no, it is time. Halloween is the signal to jump back into Unfortunate. The title itself, oh my god, it lets me know that we are in for quite a ride. I hope everybody's ready. I probably am, maybe. We're still trying to recover from La Ogre like 2 days later. Good God, that was some really tasty cringe, but also it hurt me internally. I'm still trying to digest all these new things that I learned about who was supposedly my best friend. That's so ridiculous. Oh man, I guess we'll see what we're in for today. We'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this LegbeardStories cringe. Hey, we still got a couple of seconds before we reach that 2-minute mark where I can start saying all the bad words and stuff. So I just wanted to let you know that I am now uploading Unfortunate parts up on every podcast site imaginable. Those links are in the description. Basically because I know once Unfortunate is compiled, it's going to be too long to upload via my chosen podcasting RSS, which is capped at like 5 hours or something like that. So yeah, we'll do it piecemeal, and then if the podcast really starts to take off, I can upgrade to the Big Daddy plan, and we'll see how that goes. But for now, yeah, go check that out. This is Unfortunate Part 11, BDSM and ODing. Now you kind of see why I was stalling for time. Please don't hit me, YouTube. Hey again! Thank you everyone for being along for the ride with me. I never imagined this to be as therapeutic as it's been, and having ReddX read these really gives me a kick. Thanks, guys. Gives me a kick, too. Right in the nuts.
You left yourself open, Dad.
But I keep coming back for more, so I don't know. What can I say? Are y'all ready for the slave contract? No. But first, not safe for work warnings. Legbeards are gross, and this story is no exception. You have been warned. There's heavy topics in this part, including but not limited to self-harm and a suicide attempt. Again, you have been warned. Good God, Unfortunate just always bringing the heat, man. This has got to be one of the longest and cringiest sagas to date, and I'm not sure whether to be happy or sad about that. Are you new to this saga? Well, I recommend you starting with ReddX, reading the prologue here. Last part before this one was here, and the next part is way over here. And all these links are in the description as well if you'd like to relive the cringe. For all the things in between, either check up how far along ReddX is, or simply check my post history at user/thegreenbear over on Reddit. I am falling quite a bit behind. This is part 11. I think we're up to part 20 or 21 now. They're coming out at a nice clip. I gotta stay on top of this. Also, my buddy Brute has been giving her side of Unfortunate in her own recollections. Yes, indeed. And we'll get to those once we wrap up Greenies. And that should be interesting to dissect it from like 2 directions. Anyways, here's our cast. Unfortunate, our Legbeard, the claimer of virginities. Most pathetic of all creatures, and extremely competitive about basically anything that she can possibly one-up you with. Curly is an American-Mexican man who's also a virgin that Unfortunate happened to ensnare. He plays MMOs, and we will all know way too much about his intimate bits. Oh, poor Curly. Sent you that dick pic in confidence and she just showed it to everybody. My goodness.
Send me your dick pics, okay?
Vegan is Unfortunate Nookie's lesbian best friend that had rejected her, now also her roommate. Well, that's turmoil happening as well. Greenie is the OP, slowly deteriorating, but clinging on to the illusion that I'm responsible for everything. If true, I can fix this. I must be able to work even harder to make everything right. Right? Just let it go. I've been telling you for 10 plus parts to just let it go. But I know that Greenie won't. Kendo, short, round nerd that Unfortunate Nookie first claimed raped her, and then she said, oh, it was really no biggie. And then she said that the rape was a lie, and that we're all horrible for making up such lies. Yeah, well, I'll explain where Kendo disappeared to in a bit. He GTFO'd, just like everybody else involved with this woman should do. Good God. List of Unfortunate Nookie's survivors with survivors within the span of like 4 years. There was First Love, Baldy, Vegan, Naruto Headband, Vamp, Bear, Brit, Emo, Fabulous Peacock, Some Security Guard, Kendo, Belgian, and Curly. For those who are bad at math, that's 13 victims so far. All lucky 13. I wasn't going to count them up, but thank you for tallying that for me. ReddX! In honor of the great beard content creators, such as Zuka and Fennec, I humbly present to you The Circle of Poon. Oh my God, it's a song parody out of nowhere. Okay. Yeah, it's from The Circle of Life from Lion King. Just 2 verses, because I'm a merciful beard sage, but please bless us with your rendition, kind sir. Oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Okay. I'm just a beard and I'm eating Doritos. I'm a beard, I'm eating Doritos. I'm a beard, I'm eating Doritos. I'm a beard, I'm drinking all the dew. I'm a beard, I'm drinking all the dew. I'm a beard, I'm drinking all the dew. I'm a beard. From the day we arrive in the subreddit and blinking step into the saga, there's more to tell than can ever be told, more to see than can ever be seen. There's far too much to take in here. Feel that. More to find than can ever be found. But the dong standing high, her skirt rolling up her thigh, keeps boy and girl on the endless round. It's the circle of Poon. And it moves us all through despair and horror, through pity and cringe, till we find our place on the tail unwinding in the circle. The circle of Poon. What the fuck? What did I just sing? Oh my God, dude. All right. Well, with that brief interlude out of the way, I guess we can jump into the story. Holy shit. Where last we left off with Unfortunate Nookie, we spoke about how nasty Unfortunate Nookie's apartment was and how she didn't care about keeping it tidy at all. But she seemingly had no problem manipulating me or basically anybody else into cleaning it for her. A la Miss Piggy, indeed. We talked about Naruto Headband's fragile masculinity and the weird crises that honestly seemed minor after the suicide threat from before Yet it didn't stop him from beating into me how serious he felt that they were. Also, we took a flight in Pilot's plane and everyone almost vomited. And Naruto Headband thought I was trying to cheat on him with Pilot when I attempted to console him after his father died very suddenly and he was basically just a mess. Unfortunately, has miraculously become the lesser of two evils in this saga. Like Naruto Headband's fragility, his masculinity so fragile that he has to beat his girlfriend. What the actual hell? OP, wait though, what happened with Kendo? Well, excellent question. Unfortunately claimed to be pregnant with Kendo's baby as well, and that also turned out not to be true. Kendo left her, rightfully so. And this is why I think she turned to getting the animals, so as to not be so lonely. Oh snap, she's turning British again. Greenie told me she likes the British Legbeard voice the best, so we're bringing that back. Also, I haven't really touched on how Nookie kept up her usual shenanigans that she had while dating, from Naruto Headband to Kendo, and yeah, everyone she dated really. And these demands were including but not limited to demanding to be fed, coming into your home and never leaving without making a huge deal out of it, screaming at you if she didn't get her way, hitting you if the screaming produced no results. God, I hate her. Constantly badgering you via instant messages if you were ever apart, paying for her game subscriptions, no bitch, forcing you to watch all of her favorite animes and be amused by her sexual fantasies of the characters while she spoiled the basically irrelevant plot. Ugh, it's no mystery at all why her relationships end in a hurry. So yeah, it went on, etc. After Kendo, she moved on to Curly, and I just ran into the British dude that I completely forgot. And that was like somewhere between dating Bear and chasing after Emo, maybe? There was a lot of them. That brings the number to 14 now. And then after Curly, there was this Belgian dude. She got around, okay? She was barely ever single. But yes, Kendo was gone, so cue more silky lace chokes and sending me pictures and or posting the pictures of her self-harm on Facebook. Again, she definitely needs help, but it's just more help than one person can provide, especially when they are not a professional therapist. Somebody get her into therapy. Or no, I think we've covered that she's tried that. She just doesn't take the meds that they offered her. I can't. Actually, earlier, ReddX had a theory that Naruto Headband and Unfortunately were fucking behind my back. While that's not impossible, I think it was more probable that Unfortunately fucked Kendo behind First Love's back, but called it rape, so you can't victim blame her, and that led to their breakup, after which she basically gave up on First Love, because, you know, it was rape after all, guys. But you'd have to paint it as a cool power move to get Nookie to ever admit that. Anywho, as mentioned, Vegan moved in with Unfortunately, and yeah, that was a horrible idea from the start, as basically anybody could tell you. Unfortunately had no respect for Vegan and her space or any of her needs, and Vegan did all of the cooking and cleaning. So does that mean Unfortunately has gone vegan now as well? Plus, Nookie was too preoccupied with Curly to pay attention to her relationship with her roommate, or anyone else really. She isolated herself from everyone else because all she needed was her daddy! Oh, God. Well, that's probably why she's so obsessive and wants to instant message all the time, because she's shutting everybody else out in favor of this one person, which is totally not healthy to do. We all know that. And I'm sure it won't be long before Curly's running in the other direction as well. You see, it was during this time when Unfortunately really got into BDSM. Uh-oh. She made Curly into her dom and overshared and explained to me what BDSM is and a daddy dom and a submissive slave relationship. But this was not all. No, of course not. She wasn't done telling about her life and interests with her dear friend. Which, can also be slightly oversharing, but we're not going to call it that, lest we upset the unfortunate one. She made a contract about being a slave to her dom, Curly. No. The paper was pink, lined, and adorned with cutesy art drawn by Unfortunookie. Yeah, we got a ball gag and a fucking face mask, latex pants. Oh, there's a whip up there in the corner. All the cutesy stuff. It was signed by her and Curly, where she promised to be down to fuck anytime and never disobey him, etc. It was an entire A4, where she promised her entire body and soul to this guy, along with promising to always swallow and, and scream his name during sex. Basically, it was the worst, with a little winged cat flying in the lower right corner, smiling. The cat knew. The cat knew the whole time. I will admit that the contract thing can be a cute move, My wife and I entered into a contractual relationship even before we signed the wedding papers because we knew that we were meant for each other. Even just talking on the computer, I'm like, all right, I'm yours, you're mine. Sign on the theoretical dotted line. And I thought that was pretty cute. But this is not cute. This is horrible. It doesn't even have any cute stuff in it. It's basically just about sucking and swallowing shit. I can't stand it. Why do I know all of these details? Well, Unfortunately gave me a copy. Me? Why? I have no idea. I can just imagine her printing like 10 copies of this at the local library, wearing her slave choker, and the cringe just intensifies. She probably gave one to the librarian. She just wants everybody to know what she's involved with. Maybe. It's like a humiliation thing. I don't know. Why are you humiliating yourself? It works a lot better when you make somebody else do it. But I guess Curly's in America. Unfortunookie's in Europe somewhere. So she's got to make do and humiliate herself among friends and local librarians. Unfortunookie's relationship with Curly was stormier than all of the others. She managed to somehow gather enough money to fly to the US and see him. Jesus. In fact, I believe I chipped in by making commissions of fetishes that I didn't even want to know existed just to make the money fast for her, because I was a shit friend looking to sabotage her, remember? She also never thanked me for any of that either, but she also didn't thank her dad, who also helped pay for the trip, so just another Tuesday, really. Unfortunately feeling entitled to shit. Yeah, that's about par for the course. Once in the US, Curly's family hated her. Yeah, that's just her bad luck, isn't it? Has nothing to do with her personality. And of course, that upset her endlessly. It didn't stop her from taking his virginity and explaining in excruciating detail how thick Curly's shaft was. God, no. Again, completely unprompted, and after my very clear and loud, "Good for you, Nookie, but please keep it to yourself," Unfortunookie, "Jeez, it's not like I told you that his dick is as thick as my wrist, and I love how he pounded it into me all night long." Okay then, thank you for the details. I gotta go find an ice pick and stab my fucking eardrum. She also forced him to propose to her. Those are the best proposals. They got engaged on the bench in the local mall, which she gushed about and flaunted and immediately changed her Facebook status to engaged. So you know that it's super serious. And she began fawning on all her other social medias. They'd only been dating for like a few months. This girl moved faster than one could blink. How much time did she spend with him? Because, I mean, I could see it if they had been together physically for a few months, but having an online relationship for a few months, spending a week or a month together, and then proposing, I mean, that's going to end up bad. I'll tell you right now. Unfortunately, came back from the US and was depressed. Aw. She had also gained a lot of weight and now dressed normal, or what was her estimation of normal. She had these gaudy, bright-colored orange and green and rainbow-colored clothes now that barely fit because she was in denial about her weight gain. The gothic Lolita weeby clothes had been put away to please her daddy. More than depressed, unfortunately, was angry to be separated from Curly. We'd watch Disney movies that she chose at my place, and she would scream, "Ree!" and bite my sofa in frustration. And then I'd be concerned about my sofa and her, I guess. Maybe Disney's Hercules was too romantic. Why didn't she just stay? I know they got laws and visas and all this stuff, but she doesn't seem to be upset breaking any other rules. So have her stay there for a few months longer, end up hating Curly, and Curly hates her, and then she comes back and doesn't miss him. No harm, no foul, right? That's what I would recommend, unfortunately. I'm just so disgusted at all these lovey-dovey couples. It's not fair. It's not fair that they can cuddle and hug, but my daddy is so far away. I can't take this. I want to be with him now. Oh, and then cue more sofa munching. My poor sofa. It got no respect. No respect at all. Is it better than carpet munching? I guess. It's a low joke, but I'm gonna go there. Being friends with Unfortunately felt like you were just constantly walking through a freaking minefield. You knew where some of the bombs were and you avoided them, and then there were many, so many that you just never saw coming. And she blew up in your face, or bit your sofa, or bit you, or strangled herself with lace, or bashed her head into a wall. God damn it. And while she was blunt, as she likes to put it, you could never, ever be blunt with her. You can dish it out, but you can't take it. I'm not surprised by that at all. If you ever tried to very gently tell her something like, "Hey, Nookie, no biggie, but I just wanted to let you know, when you said the leg on my drawing looked fucked up, that it actually did hurt my feelings. It wasn't really constructive because I don't know how to fix fucked up. Too long or bent in an unnatural way, I could improve on. So if you could please not say stuff like that about my art, I'd appreciate it if you could avoid that, okay? Or, I understand you miss your fiance, but could you please not chew on my poor sofa?" And there were only a few ways possible for her to respond to any of this. A, "I don't understand why you're so upset." B, "Sorry I'm such a piece of shit. I'll never talk about your art again." Oh, she said it. C, "I'll never touch your crappy sofa again." Or if she felt really confused, "I'll never open my stupid trap again." Making it virtually impossible to speak to her about anything. I mean, do the words penetrate to the deepest depths of her mind, stick in there somewhere? Because if you just do it enough, maybe she'll eventually catch on. Because you know she's never actually going to stop talking. That's just an empty threat. We've seen it 100 times before. Nothing stops that mouth of hers. And you can take that statement any way that you like. To this day, if we are talking and you start talking over me, I'll shut up. It's just how I am. Speaking on top of another person to me is very rude, and I avoid it as much as I can. So if you start talking over me, I'll just drop what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's a lot of the reason that I can't really join open room Discord calls. Because I'm also the type to give way, and then it just turns into a fucking zoo. But Discord has stages now, so I can get up there and have my soapbox, even in Discord, which is pretty sweet. Curly and Unfortunate Nookie broke up and got together about 2 to 3 times. Each time they broke up, Unfortunate Nookie pulled a stunt or some such. I think it was the first time that they broke up, and she was again threatening to kill herself. OP, please, don't. You have so much to live for. Squints at notes. You have your whole life ahead of you. I know it sucks now, but I promise it gets better. You want me to come over and keep you company? Unfortunate Nookie.
If it's not too much of a bother.
OP. Of course not. I'm on my way. OP probably didn't actually say the words like that, but I guarantee that's how she felt inside. Unfortunate Nookie knew that I was coming over. She invited me. She opens the door looking miserable, and I give her a hug. And I don't let it show at all how gross her fucking mouth smell is. But it was always there. And I ask her how she's holding up. Unfortunate Nookie.
Okay, I guess.
She walks back to her bed to play World of Warcraft with her headset on. Oh, God. Didn't we just talk about this yesterday? Having to sit there and watch somebody play fucking Skyrim? I'd argue that watching somebody play World of Warcraft is even worse. I take off my coat in the hallway and proceed towards the bed. The kitchen was, as always, a freaking biohazard. Vegan wasn't home. Even with Vegan living there wasn't much of anything in the apartment. Just the bed, and in front of the bed, the chair that was doubling as a nightstand. Oh my God. Is that what I think it is? Why is there a white crust all over? Oh, God. What is it? What's white and crusty? Did Curly mail his coom? That's where my mind jumps to. There is no other place to be or sit at than right next to Unfortunate Nookie on her bed inside her apartment. She knew that I was coming over and still didn't see any reason or need to put away her clearly used green dildo in front of her bed on her nightstand. What do you want me to do? Pitch it on the bed? I stopped in my tracks and just stared at it, as I think we all would do. I'm not sure how to respond in this situation. It is interesting that it's green, though. Why green? Unfortunate he was gaming and just seemed to have forgotten that I was even there. I was spending way too much time looking at this obviously used green dong right in front of my face with the white glaze all over it, wondering what kind of feat of mental Olympics do I have to pull out of my ass to tell her in a way that won't make her flip out on me that having a used dildo out in the open is just not appropriate. Oh, this gonna be good. OP. Hey, Unfortunate Nookie? Unfortunate Nookie, not even looking at me. OP, pointing at the schlong. Do you think you could, hide that? Unfortunate Nookie looks at me for the very first time since opening the freaking door. She seems half bored and half irritated. She shrugs and shoves it into a hole in the Cadillac shelf where, if Vegan was home, she too could see it in the shelf because the Cadillac has no back panel, and her bed was on the other side of that shelf. And besides, I could still see it too, since the shelf was like at the foot of the bed. She didn't put it away or hide it at all, just moved it. Like I said, what do you want me to do with it? Pitch it under the bed? Throw it into the garbage disposal. I gave up and tried to make light of the situation instead. OP, you know, you should really at least clean that thing if you're gonna show it off to your guests. Don't know if you knew, but that isn't the best thing to have out and about when people are coming over. Ha ha ha. Awkward laugh, but no humor in the statement. God damn, I love it. She didn't respond at all. Just kept on gaming. I sat next to her on the bed and watched her play for the next 3 hours. Ugh, God, I hate it. I tried to ask her how she's doing or if she wants to talk about the breakup, how she's holding up. Is there anything that I can do for her? She completely ignored me, invited me over to ignore me for a fucking game. She gave me one-word replies, sometimes half-heartedly, and mostly spent those hours yelling at her friends on WoW, stuff like,
You fucking whore! What the fuck are you doing, you stupid cunt? You're a dumb asshole for aggroing it!
etc. I felt disgusted watching her play. She seemed like an awful party member. I felt bad for the others, and I wasn't even gaming. That's right, I'm gonna disconnect real quick, go play on my other character. Why would you even stick around in a voice chat with Unfortunate? Oh, because I forgot. WoW is full of, like, beta orbiter simps. But don't be one of those beta orbiter simps, OP. Get up and leave. Obviously, this is not going to be anything constructive. Since I could make no contact with her, despite offering to keep her company and trying to comfort her, I even asked her if she just wants me to be here, and she just kind of shrugged. I told her, okay, then I'm going home. And if things get worse, just call me and I'll be right over, okay? She kept on ignoring me, and I went home. What the hell was that, dude? What is the proper response here? Go pull the fucking power cord on the PC. That's all I could think of. The next day, Vegan sent me a message. Unfortunately, had OD'd. And she called her an ambulance. Unfortunately, was in the ER. Jesus Christ. If you thought my heart bled for her when I thought she was pregnant from first love, don't know if you noticed, but yeah, I didn't even believe her when she pulled the same stunt again with Kendo, and thus I didn't worry about it that time. But imagine the ton of bricks that sank me into the ground when Vegan dropped this bombshell on me. Oh boy, what did you do now, Unfortunate? Is this all to make OP feel guilty? God damn, dude. Please remember, laughter's the music of the soul. If you can laugh at it, you can get over it. Also, aim to shower daily, cause it's good for you. No Naruto headband in this episode, which I am grateful for. Now, Unfortunate has a chance to kind of catch up in the horrible beard rankings. And boy, she's doing a great job of that, isn't she? Let's give her a round of applause. Honestly, I do feel really bad for Curly letting this Legbeard be his first. It reminds me of Osgood so much, and it breaks my heart once more. But it is sufficiently spooky, isn't it? Happy Halloween, everybody! God damn. I don't really understand why she OD'd, how she OD'd, if it was because of what was going on with Curly, or if she's just trying to stick it to OP in some type of way, but it's not acceptable in any shape or form. Maybe she is really having a hard time, you know, but most of the time in this story, when it goes this way, she's mostly doing it for attention, sympathy, pity, something like that, not because she actually wants to end it. So, I don't know, maybe we'll go in there and find out that she ate a bunch of Tylenol PM, which is still not good for you, but I don't know if it requires an ER trip. Don't listen to me, I'm not a doctor. What I do know is that I enjoyed this episode of Unfortunate. I hope that you guys did as well. We'll be back into it sooner rather than later, because like I said, I got some catching up to do. So don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy the episode. Maybe share it around. That is the MVP play indeed. We got all kinds of links in the description. Plugs, podcasts, playlists if you're looking for something different from the channel. We also got my social medias, of course, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, yes, and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons over on Patreon, and I would like to thank them as I do every episode. So thank you very much, Robert Waits, Jarhead Jerry, Baron Von Waggy Pants, Oorah, I mixed that up, River Jerry, Rogue, TSM Kirby, Twisted Child, Captain Clown Jerry, Hong Kong, Cinnamon Susie, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, hee hee, Latin, Levison Loves Jerry, ReddX does too. Silent Revolver, Sergeant Jelly Donut, Tsundere Jerry, Baka, Aaron W, Althea Blue, Anunnaki, Asian Persuasion Jerry, yeah, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Becca, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Bloop Jerry, Camille Sarah, Cherish Kitsune, Commander J Tank, Corporal Admiral, Lieutenant Furry Worry Jerry, Deltaroon Jerry, Dennis Dayton. Whoa, bro, are you coming at me right now? Is that really your name? Cool, me too. Kinda. It's a little different though. Dinosaur Nightlight. Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Gypsy, Adrian BR, Heathcliff, it's Morphin Time, Tom Power, it's Mr. Tom, defected to the Jerry Hunting Tom Army. Oh God, now there's 2 Toms and how many Jerrys? You're still outnumbered. A pimp named J Crisp. Yes, you gotta say the whole thing. JM Coon, Jerry with the I. That is a different Jerry. The original Jerry. Jerry Blacktail. Jerry T. Herapist. Jerry that's more Jerry than the other Jerrys. Maybe. John Hero. Simboofing, because if your boofing is free, Jerry. Tell it to the jury. Kira M, Kitzikin, Lady Jerry Nix, Miss Mondays, Little Lone Wolf, Lord Lido, Jack's Rule, Vanilla Mel, Melgar the Destroyer, Mint Chip, Mirthful Baker, my boy Nat one Nick, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, oh no, Origami Jerry, gotta fold them all. Phantom of the Pines, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Sidestep, Redwind, Rosemary Miller, Satori, Cider Drinker, Serrated Ash, Staples Jerry, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tapioca Boogaloo, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, 10-Ton Monster, The One True Fusky, the Jerry who's second only to the mighty ReddX, Token Black Jerry. We also got Magdalene Marshall Thornrose somewhere in here, Treeberg Wilmax, you're a wizard Jerry. Yet another different Jerry. 211 Jerry, the return of Jerry. Oh my God, he actually complied. I love it. A normal Jerry, no longer the former neighbor of 211 Jerry. He did come back. We got the hunter of Jerry's, devourer of all things tasty. It is Tom. Oh no, there's 2 Toms. Admiral A Tank, Amara AZ Banish Knight, Cake Jerry, the original different Jerry. California Jerry Girl, Yum, Carrot Jerry, Good for your eyes, Chris Mesca, Cinnamon Buddy Dog, Crib Titties, hey, no longer a Jerry, that's sad. Cuban Jerry, Defawn Jerry, Ghost of Alpha, Goose says Honk, HMT Mayor, Hydra Jerry, Irish Wristwatch, Jerry's Irradiated Jam, fan favorite Jerry Aldo Rivera. Jerry Bean, Yum, Jerry Roxas, yay, Jerry Zilla, Destroyer of Toms, ah! John Indoors, JRPG, that's Jerry Role-Playing Game, also known as Bloody Butterfly Gaming, lots of tongue twisters here. KJW Kajow, Crafty Kitty Cat, LaPG Jerry, ooh, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, maybe next time, Midnight Sun, Milkfed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Naga Viper, Origami Cam, Princess Rosalie Jerry, congrats on the marriage, Ghosty, Ryga, Raptor Art, Saints Blessing, Silurian King, Snarry, that's Snom Jerry. Spooty the Rogue, Steampunk Ellie, the Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry who's not the original Jerry, and the most different Jerry who might be the most different Jerry. I don't really know. Promise, swearsies, that's just a fact, and it is totally science. Go ahead and look it up, and by it, I mean another ReddX video, if you please. I would appreciate it. End of the month is here. Officially, Patreon pledges coming in. I definitely appreciate you guys supporting in the way that you do. Last day to get it in if you want to get it in, and I would love that. But if you can't afford it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, You need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. That'd be cool. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, bye-bye.